Secretary of Defense. And my respect for you will be undiminished, though we're going to work through a couple of tough topics here in the few minutes that I have with you. It would be helpful to me if you would review concisely as you could the number of people who, at least within the Department of Defense, were aware of the impending release up to and until the moment that Sergeant Bergdahl, in fact, was released and then, or transferred rather, and that the 5 detainees were then given over to the representatives from Qatar.
Congressman, I appreciate your comments and thank you for your service. First, I don't have the exact number of individuals within DOD who knew about the operation, but here's what I would say. As I've said here this morning, and I mentioned specifically DOD, this was ongoing as the days, as you know, the timelines here. You start with essentially, I start with about the 21st, and then go down, then 27th, and so on. Each day there had to be some more people brought in. For
if you could, just out of my time is so limited, if you had to just estimate that amount, how many approximately?
I just don't know, and
that's okay.
It'd be wrong, but
the numbers that I have seen,
we'll get it, but
okay,
I just don't know. But again, just suffice to say, we kept it a very, very small number.
I appreciate that. What's largely in the public domain has made it clear to me that a number of people, certainly more than 25 or 30, I'm very safe with that. Certainly on the DOD side, perhaps when you come back and tell us in a definitive way how many. But the point of it is this, is that if we look at the 30-day requirement, which is the law of the land, even if one sets aside a strict interpretation of the 30-day requirement, even if one gives every benefit of the doubt to the testimony that you provided here today and what other administration officials have provided in public statements, I remain convinced that really no effort whatsoever was made to comply not only with the letter of the law, but even the spirit of the law. And I do not understand why no effort was made whatsoever to phone and to call a committee chairman, either on the House or the Senate side. To me, it seems like a repudiation and really a slap in the face to this institution, this equal branch of government. And I do not understand, even though I've listened carefully to your testimony, and that by other officials, what compelled you to move without picking up the phone?
Well, as I've said this morning a number of times, we've felt that the fleeting opportunity to get this done required an absolute minimum in people who knew. I've also said that if we had an opportunity to come back around and do this again, we didn't handle some of this right. So I get that, and I've taken exactly what you said. But the reason we didn't let anybody know right up until the end is because of what I said. We were concerned. We thought we really did believe that the risk was so great, just one thing getting out. And I understand your point of view. So Mr.
Secretary, I was and remain convinced that you exercise your best judgment. I don't question that. I do believe that damage has been done to the governance aspect of this, to whatever trust and confidence there may have been in the administration's commitment to complying with a law, a statutory requirement, and I think it might yield and result in something, from this institution that I think there ought to be some formal condemnation of it, frankly. But I appreciate your service to our country. Indeed, I do. And I yield back the remainder of my time.
Thank you.
Thank you.